Hello and welcome to Rob from the Internet Talks About Beer, a show where we discuss different styles of beer, beer history, beer flavor profiles, we give shout outs to breweries we think make exceptional beer, and we talk about whatever else comes to mind during the course of the conversation. I'm Rob from the Internet. Let's talk about beer. All right, joining me today is a repeat guest. Yes, that's right. Someone actually liked my show well enough to be on it a second time. I'm shocked. I'm sure everyone else who watches this video will be shocked. I mean, you might even be shocked that you've decided to come back on the show yourself. Who knows? So for those who don't know him, this is Nick King, known as Nick the Sour Guy on Twitter. If you would, Nick, tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got into craft beer, and what you do when you're not talking to me about craft beer.
So first off, thanks for having me back again. We're friends. We've had some beers before, so I'm always happy to talk with you about beer. It's fun to do. So when I first came on the show, I just started working at Stonehooker Brewing Company. If that's in Mississauga, Port Credit area, if people watching this don't know where that is. So I've been there about 4.5 months now. Predominantly drink sours. Predominantly, that's my preferred style. That's what we're drinking today. But working at Stonehooker, having my level 1 Prude Hom certification, get more into style. So I'm more of a lager, pilsner, crispy boy, as they like to call it now. Like that kind of stuff. Like my sours, still going into that. But yeah, I've been working in for Stonehooker about 4.5 months now, and so I'm just technically an industry person now, if you want to call it that. So yeah.
Gary thought that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So the last time when you were on my show, I think you were guest number or episode number 5. I think you were actually guest number 3, but things got shuffled around and you were episode number 5. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you were actually still working at the beer store, and you had said that you were just getting ready to start at Stonehooker.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Something around there.
Yeah. Oops, I don't remember what beer we talked about. I know it was a sour of some sort, but I don't remember what one it was. That's right, Jam Up. God, that's a great beer.
It is. Yeah.
All right. Well, he alluded to it already. He said that we're going to be talking about sours because that's primarily his thing. So today we're going to be talking about Stonehooker's Lemondrop Float.
Wow.
And I've had this in my cooler for about 2 months, and when you said you wanted to do a show about it a couple months back, I literally put it in the don't touch this section so that I wouldn't drink it.
Yeah. Probably hard, right?
Well, it was, so when Adam was on the show, he sent me a selection of beers, and there were 2 of these in there, and I drank one of them immediately, and I wanted to drink the other one, but then you said, hey, let's do another show. And we'll do it on this. And I'm like, shit, now I got to put that one in my crate of beers I won't touch until it's time for a show.
Well, I figured if I was going to be on the show again, might as well do a beer that I can properly talk about because, I drink it every single day. So I like to consider myself high up in quality control. So, I'm risking my life. It's a dangerous job, Rob. All right. I'm risking my life testing beer and making sure it's not poison so all the customers can drink it. All right. So, yeah. It's risking my life out here, man. Yeah. It's dangerous.
Well, your service is duly noted and appreciated.
Yeah.
I don't know how well Adam would agree with the fact that some of your beer might be poison and you have to drink it to make sure, but yeah, we get the general sentiment.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you'll like the wording of that, but
he's a pretty cool guy. I'm sure he'll understand.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so tell me a little bit about this beer before we crack it open.
So it's a vanilla. It's considered we call it a milkshake sour. It's basically all milkshake sour is just with added use of lactose to give it a little bit more mouthfeel. Because we notice now that with sours and more popular sours are getting, how people want one with lactose. Lactose is such a huge thing that's being added into not even sours, just beer like stouts and IPAs and everything, right?
Every beer.
Right? So, when did we first do it? We first did it, I think, last year, last summer. So I've tried, 5 different batches now of it. So we did it a couple times. We do it every few months because we always want to have a sour. Because we always have people that come around saying, hey, I'm a boyfriend, girlfriend, or couple or whatever saying, I like beer. This person I'm with isn't really big on it. What would you recommend? You always recommend a sour because it's like, it's sour, but it's like the thing that tastes the least amount like beer at a brewery if you went to a brewery, right? So we always want to have a sour on tap. And this one's really, really nice. So it has the vanilla has lactose in it. So we use real vanilla bean. We use lemon puree in it. And it's pretty light, 3.9%. And it's really, really nice. You get a little bit of that lemon on the nose right at the beginning, a little bit of finish of vanilla. And it's really, really nice. It's really, really popular. Probably I was going to say my favorite beer from Stonehooker, but maybe it's a toss up between a bunch because I drink a bunch. So, no, it's really, really nice. And it gets better every single time. Every single time, we don't even change the recipe, and the brewers don't change the recipe, but they just taste vanilla more and more every single time. Like I'm having a can from the new batch. You have the one from the batch probably that we did in July or August. This one's from October.
August.
August.
Yeah, this one's going to be from August.
This one I'm drinking is from October. So early October weekend, this one. And it's just crazy how much vanilla there is. We grab the real vanilla from the vanilla beans or the vanilla, what is it, straws? Pods, whatever. We get the real vanilla out of that. We have one guy that spends like 5-6 hours in a day just grabbing a crap ton of vanilla. And yeah, so it really comes through in there. So no, it's a really, really nice beer for sure. That's why I want to talk about it.
Is the vanilla? Yeah, no. Is the vanilla added during the boil, or is it added during fermentation? Do you know when it's added?
It's added up near the end.
Near the end. So
yeah.
So before it goes into ferment.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Because I feel like if we add it in the middle or the beginning of it, right, then you lose a lot of the flavor. So with all our beers, if a beer has like flavor, like raspberry or this or that, we always add it at the end, or else it's going to get fermented out, right? So yeah, it goes near the end, and then that's why. So it gets concentrated a little bit more as well, and that's why that vanilla comes out as you will taste in a bit. So yeah.
Well, let's not waste any more time. Oh, I made a mess. My beer decided it wanted to splash my screen. Hang on 1 second. That's what I get for trying to be all funny and put it right up next to my mic.
Seeing him drinking.
Look at you with your
beautiful
your company
glass.
Man glass.
I got my hat on too. I don't have a shirt on, but got to represent.
No, you're wearing a Green Day shirt. Green Day I saw that.
Shirt, yeah.
Well, right on the nose. I am going to be drinking. So I am wearing a Nickelbrook shirt today, and I just happen to also have grabbed a Nickelbrook glass because I reached into the cupboard and this was the glass I grabbed.
I'll have to grab you a Stonehooker glass next time we see each other. It's on the nose, man. Just right on the nose, vanilla. Like you get a little bit of lemon, but the vanilla is like what you get.
I actually get more, for me, with the way my nose works, I actually get more of the lemon.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like as soon as I'm done breathing in, and in that last little trailing bit, that's where I actually get the vanilla, and it's nice.
Yeah.
And this beer is it's bright yellow.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear. It looks like it's a fairly high carbonation visually. There's lots of little bubbles going up all over the place. It's got a nice white billowy head.
Cheers. And
it tastes like lemonade.
So good. Oh man.
It is. When Adam and I were talking, when I had Adam, for those who don't know, Adam Cherry, the head brewer for Stonehooker, was on the show last season as well, and we discussed. I think we talked about this one, and we also talked about the cherry variety of this.
The cherry lemonade,
cherry. Yeah, which was great, and it was funny because he sent me a couple of those as well, and one of them inadvertently got pushed into the back of the cooler when I was moving beers around, and I found it like a month and a half later, and I posted about it, and he's like, "Oh, there's a lot of people that would love to have that beer."
Yeah, that one, it sold out really, really fast. Like I would always consider, like I have so many beers in my fridge from Stonehooker still that are sold out. So I'm like, I can literally just sell them for like double the price. Like someone's like, "Do you have this? Are you out of that?" No, but I'll sell it to you for double the cost. Make a little business off of it.
That's right. Secondary market on Stonehooker beers.
Because that's the thing, and the issue that, not an issue, but just I guess is a good thing for company to have in the summer, was our volume versus what we were selling. We were selling way more than our volume because we're small. We're still like a small brewery in terms of our production size and whatnot, right? And we still do things in pretty small batches. Like we do about 13 hex for some of our big beers, like our Broad Reach, which is flagship IPA and stuff like that. But then for our smaller beers, like Lemondrop and stuff like that, we do about 15 hex. But we split it between kegs and cans. So we would run out of kegs in the summer when our patio was full in like 2 weeks, right? So someone would come back one day, and then they would come back a few weeks later and be like, "Oh, where's the Lemondrop? Or where's this? Where that? It's gone," right? So
sold out,
and they're all sad about it, right? And there's we can normally pour it into a can, but there's a different license for that, which we found out about. We've never done it, but we found out, and I found out that there's a license to pour draft beer versus a license to just pour cans. Because obviously you've been to tons of breweries too, where instead of having something on draft, you just have a can. They just give you the can, right?
Yep.
But you do it because you still want to try the beer, and it's still the atmosphere being at the brewery, right? But we just don't have the license for it because we have about, at one point we went down to 8 beers on tap. We had like 17 beers in cans. So yeah, that's how it is. But hey, we're doing well, I guess. It's good. People are drinking our beer, right? So,
you know, selling out of beer is a very good problem to have.
Yes. Yes.
Obviously, you don't want to sell out all the time because then people are like, "Oh, is it artificial scarcity?" But I mean, if it's just selling out because it's really good beer and people are buying it that much, there's not a whole lot you can do if you're, you know, unless you've got the liquidity to massively expand, you know, to go from, oh, now we're making 30 heck of this, and we're going to make 60 heck of our core beers. But, you know, unless you've got the money to expand the brewery out or the capacity, there's not a lot you can do. If your beer is good and people are buying it and you run out, well, you run out, but that's a good problem.
Well, tons of breweries are small batch, right? And there's some breweries that are super small batch, but they're only open on like Friday, Saturday. Like Third Moon is like open like 15 hours in a week. They're like 10 to 6 Saturday and like 11 to 6 or 12 to 6 on Friday or something ridiculous. Or I don't even know. It's like 12 hours or 13 hours a week, right? But they do it and they get enough business, I guess, right? And there's some breweries that are only open their certain amount of days. Like Barn Cat is only open a certain day and you have to order ahead. And then once they're gone, they're sold out, right? And people are used to that. So it's not much of an issue. Right. But then there's other small breweries like Fairweather does a lot of small batch stuff. Like they're super, super small batch. Grain and Grit is super, super small batch. So they run out of stuff in a couple of weeks if it's popular, right? Because they only do it in such limited size because that's the capacity they have. Right. So
Well, and then places like Grain and Grit also. So like full disclosure, I am a local member at Grain and Grit, so they are without a doubt probably my favorite local brewery, just because one, it's 20 minutes away from my house, and two, I know everybody there. But they do like even smaller than their small batch stuff for local members. Like they'll do they call it their pilot series, where they're just testing out a recipe, and if you're a local member, you get access to those beers. You can buy those beers when no one else can, and it's pretty cool. So I've had some beers from like Grain and Grit that just, you know, they made one batch and it wasn't what they were hoping for. They didn't get the response they wanted, or it was too expensive or whatever, and it was never there again. But it's kind of cool, you know, that really, really small tiny batch stuff is great, and can be a great draw to get people to your location.
Oh, for sure.
Because if they know, oh, these guys are small, and if we don't get there when they announce they have this beer, we might not get it.
Mm-hmm. That's the biggest worry for a lot of people, FOMO, right? So many people that we know on Twitter and stuff like that are crazy beer enthusiasts. They go all over the place to buy these beers because they love beer and they don't care like what the price is or where they have to go to get it. You're probably one of those people for sure, right?
I am.
Within reason.
Within reason.
So once there's like a thing that's like limited time, you're like, you might not even like necessarily like want the beer, but it's almost the fact of, holy shit, this is only going to be here for 2 weeks. I have to be one of those people to try it. It's like a competition between other beer drinkers. That's like, hey, I drank this beer and you didn't, and I had this thing that's exclusive and you didn't drink it. And it's kind of like a cool thing to be like, I drank this beer that no one else drank or not many people have drank, right? There's a huge kind of, not a competition because it's not, because we're all just in there for the love of beer, but it's kind of like it's
you know what I mean? It's bragging rights.
Oh,
it's bragging rights.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Like Lake the Woods Brewing, they do their Deep Six.
Yeah.
You know, it's they do a very small amount. I think what was it, like 700 bottles,
mm-hmm.
and that's it. So, and and it's expensive, but it's something I buy because one, they're up in the middle of nowhere, in Kenora. I got to support those guys, try and keep them in business way up there. They make good beer, and it's actually kind of a cool gimmick for that beer. I mean, it's lagered for 6 months, or conditioned, if you want to call it conditioned, for 6 months at the bottom of the Lake of the Woods. I mean, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it is. It's one of those things that people like me, I like to get those beers that are more rare and they're more exclusive, just so I can say, oh yeah, I had this and it was really good. If they ever offer it again, you should try and get it.
Yeah, for sure. Like the whole Origin of Darkness series from Collective Arts that comes out every year, right?
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah, and Wellington's UVB series.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I mean, this year I had to order the gift packs just so I could get the Boris variant of that beer, because by the time I got to the webpage, it was the same day they announced it was available. I got there, I think it was like 4 hours after it became available. They were sold out of Boris. So I had to buy the gift pack because the gift pack included it and I wanted to try it.
Well, do you know which one's in the LCBO? Because you said one's going to the LCBO, right?
I'm not sure which is in the LCBO. It might just be the Roman, which is the base. I don't know.
Probably just the base. I would assume so, but that's in the LCBO, which is cool. But yeah. So what do you think about this beer? We kind of went off track a little bit, but that's okay.
You're right. That always happens. I mean, that's kind of the point of the show. We talk a little bit about whatever style we're talking about, and then we talk about everything else because it's literally just two people sitting around talking and drinking beer. So yeah, this beer is nice. So it's not overly acidic. Mm-hmm. It's not overly tart.
Yeah.
And the sweetness from the lactose is at a great level. It's not cloying, so it's not like overly sweet or like, oh, you ever had like that fake lemonade, like country time lemonade and stuff like that, where it's like, yeah, it's tart, but it's so damn sweet that that's not what you're looking for. I mean, when I'm going for a sour beer, the reason I'm going for a sour beer is I want something that's going to quench a thirst. Mm-hmm. And this does a good job with that, but it has that little bit of sweetness. The lactose is well balanced with the tartness, so that sweet and tart to make it be like an old school lemonade, and it's great. I mean, it's it's got a nice mouthfeel to it thanks to the lactose. Builds up a little bit of body, and what I don't know what grains you guys use, is just wheat or if it's barley or what you guys use in this. But, so between the wheat, wheat beers tend to have a medium to medium high body to begin with. So you add a little bit of lactose to that, you get a nice mouthfeel to it. It's well rounded. It's not overly sharp. Like I said, this beer really is the epitome of a summer style beer for me. When it's hot out, you're sitting out on the deck, you got this, and you're like, yeah, it's like lemonade.
Yeah,
but it's alcoholic.
It's super crushable. It's like there's so much flavor to it, but it's light at the same time. You described it perfectly. It has a nice mouthfeel, but it goes down easy too. Like there's a lot of sours that you drink and it goes down, and like instantly you could feel like a little bit of heartburn because it's so acidic, and it just does not go down that easily. 3.9%. It drinks really, really easy. Like I love this beer even before I worked at Stonehooker. I love this beer now. It keeps them better every time. If you haven't tried it yet and you or near Stonehooker and love sours, I would highly recommend trying it. It's phenomenal. It's so good.
Now, is this one only available at the brewery, or is it available in stores?
Only at the brewery. So majority of our beers are only at the brewery. We're trying to get like more beers out there. Like we have obviously our Broadreach and Chill Pills at the beer stores around in the area. That we have just Broadreach at the LCBO, and then we're trying to get more out there. So I think we might be getting Golly Wobbler out there too, which is our session IPA. And then we have like some kegs of like small batch stuff, like whatever. Like sometimes we had like a wheat beer at like a random restaurant down the road and stuff like that in like kegs. But we're trying to get out there. But yeah, we just don't make enough beer right now for having some at the brewery and then bringing a bunch to. Oh yeah, right. It's expensive. No. It's expensive too, right? So like for stuff like this,
it is, because you have to buy the shelf space and you have to maintain certain volume of sales and a certain commitment to the LCBO and the beer store to have a certain level of stock at all times. And it can be really tough for the smaller breweries. But no, I just figured in case people wanted to try and find it, whether this is not available in stores, so you have to go to Stonehooker to get it. Stonehooker is still on the list of breweries for me to get to. I have an open invitation from Adam to come down anytime. And
same for me, because I'm there literally 40 hours a week. So yeah.
I have the invitation from him to come poke around and check everything out and have a few beers and some food. It's just a matter of, with everything with the pandemic stuff, my wife and I are still a little bit gun shy about going out and hanging out in places. And now that it's going to be getting cold and patios are going to be closing, it's gonna probably delay us going to a lot of places still. I mean, we'll still do ordering online. We'll still go places to pick up, but I doubt we'll be sitting in a whole lot of places.
Yeah, for sure. But for delivery for Stonehooker, we do over $50. We do local deliveries to like Mississauga, Oakville, I think Burlington. It might be more than that. Someone else can quote me on that if you look, but it's definitely $50. If you do $50 or more, Mississauga, Burlington, Oakville, for sure, free delivery. And then if you do over $70, I think free shipping across Ontario, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that either.
I think that's right.
So
it's been a while. Yeah. It's I think it was Canpar who delivered mine. I think is who it was.
It's a good deal. Like a lot of breweries, like up in. I'm not trying to crap on a brewery, but Five Paddles up in. You know where it is. Is it Whitby or Oshawa? It's one of the two. Five Paddles.
One of the
wherever,
two, yeah.
Around there. It's like $5-6 for a beer, which is fair because beer is expensive with like smoothie sours and this and that. But then like delivery to Oakville I was like $120 for a case. And then the delivery to Oakville, where I live, was like $30 or $35. And I was like, I'm not doing that. When there's breweries like Collective Arts and even like Stonehooker where I work, and Left Field and stuff like that do free delivery over a certain price, or even places that do rotating delivery like Merritt and Fairweather and breweries like that do like rotating, like every like week they rotate and do like Oakville, and then sometimes do Niagara Falls, and they do free delivery over like $50 to certain places. Bandit does that as well, right? So those are the breweries I think you got to like get on and look at, because it's good deals. Like if you're like not paying any shipping, you can get beer delivered to your door for free or for a minimum cost. And why wouldn't you if you don't want to make the trip out there, right?
Right. And there's a lot of breweries, even if they don't offer free shipping, it's like flat rate shipping. Okay. Yeah. So I order a case of beer, it's $10 shipping. I order 2 cases of beer, it's still $10 or $15 shipping. It's flat rate because they're able to move enough beer that they've been able to negotiate a decent deal with the couriers. So places that don't do that, places that charge you high amounts, it's ridiculous, especially like if they're fairly local to you. It's like you guys are like, like for me, most things are an hour to an hour and a half away from me if I'm going into the Toronto area. So, it's not that far away, guys. It shouldn't cost me $50 to deliver $50 worth of beer.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's weighted too. Like I like the flat rate, and sometimes it's weighted. It's like, if you get an extra box, it's going to be like, it's like $15 per box. It's like fits 12 cans in a box, and then it's $15 per box. If you get like 24, you're paying like $15 per box. You're paying $30. And it's like there's so many breweries you want to order from, man. And it just limits what you can do. Right. So, but I'm just suggesting, I'm just trying to talk about Stonehooker here, but whatever. This is a shameless plug.
No. I mean,
it's a shameless plug. It's all good.
Shameless plugs are what it's all about, man. I mean, that's the reason why I have people on who work at breweries is so they can plug their breweries. Yeah. If note to all the people out there, if you work at a brewery and I ask you to be on representing your brewery, it's because I like your brewery.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and you're giving them the opportunity to talk about it. You would hope that if you do something with their brewery, they would drink a beer from their brewery. You wouldn't just drink some random beer, right? So
yeah, well, and I mean, to be fair, if they're going to be on not representing their brewery just as a beer lover, that's one thing. But if you're going to be on and wearing a company hat and drinking from a company glass, you better be drinking the company beer out of that company glass. That's right, Lemondrop Float, folks. It is a really nice beer. it would get a lot more consumption in our household if my wife wasn't lactose intolerant. So I'm the only one who can actually drink this beer when I buy it. So I don't tend to buy a lot of it because, you know, one, I don't like rubbing the fact that she can't enjoy some beers, because she really does enjoy sour beers, but she can't enjoy some of these because they have lactose. So I don't like to keep a bunch of them in the house. So I'll tend to buy 4 of them or so at a time, you know, depending on the beer, 4, maybe 6, if it has lactose in it, just because, one, I know she enjoys a lot of the same beer styles I do, and sours is one of the ones that she really enjoys, and she can't enjoy these, so it doesn't seem right to me to sit around enjoying it when she can't.
Yeah, for sure. She'll like be like, "Ooh, what beer am I gonna have? I'm gonna look in the fridge. Ooh, sour. Wait, there's lactose in it." Just completely like just right, like yeah. So don't even want to tempt her.
All right. Well, I actually have a shelf in the beer cooler that we put all beers that have lactose in them. So that when she goes out to the cooler, she knows these are the ones that are pretty much a no-go for her, unless she feels like taking whatever it is, like lactate or whatever it is, a couple of those to enjoy. You know, she can take a couple lactate pills and have like half a beer.
Mm-hmm. You might have to have her do it for this, to try this beer.
Oh, she has tried this beer and she really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
But like I said, I don't keep a lot of lactose style beers in the house just because, you know, the last thing I want her to do is grab something and then regret drinking it.
For sure. Man.
So what new beers you guys got on tap there these days?
Since last time, something you would probably like. It's an IPA, but it's a rye IPA. Do you like rye IPAs? Have you tried rye IPAs?
I have tried rye IPAs.
So we have a beer. Continue, sorry.
I like them well enough.
Okay. So we have a couple. I don't know what time this is going to be posted, so depends. What I'm saying could be completely irrelevant because it might be like posted in like January, and the beers might be gone by then.
That's exactly when this will be. This will be the end of January, buddy.
Okay, fair enough. Well, what I'm talking right now, don't take with a grain of salt because it might be gone, and I have no idea what's going to come out in January. So don't quote me. Don't tweet at me saying, "Nick, this beer was going to be around, and I came, and it's gone. I saw this video, and I drove over to Stonehooker in January, and this beer is gone." Don't quote me. We're filming this. What day is it? October 28th? 29th?
It's October 28th.
28th.
Yep.
So yeah, October 28th. Don't quote me on this. So we have our Jack the Ripper, which is a rye IPA. We have what's it called? Even Keeled back on tap, which is something that wasn't on tap. The ESB that we have,
which is a nice ESB.
Yeah, we have Perseverance back, which is a brute IPA, so like a champagne style IPA, we like to call it. Then obviously we have because it's around the time we have our pumpkin pie ale, which I know your opinion on that. I saw it. I saw a tweet earlier about it today. It was fun. It was pretty funny. We tweeted about it, throwing it in the drain. It was funny. We have that, and then we have our double chocolate milk stout back on tap. That one is really, really nice. It's a really, really nice like stout, 6.5%. You really get some of that chocolate on the finish. That one's nice. We're bottling that again. I think we just started brewing it this week, so it's going to be bottled again in 2 weeks. I feel like stouts will stick around a little bit longer, so who knows, maybe they'll be around by January. And then an interesting sour that we just had back was, I told you about this last time we saw each other, is we had the spicy raspberry saison. So like raspberry puree. Yep. It's like a Belgian yeast base, so it makes it a saison. And then we have four different types of hot peppers in it. We made this one sour, so it's a sour spicy raspberry saison, and it is
interesting.
Really, really interesting. It's like a lot of people like try it. It's like one of those beers that like people go to a brewery and always try to like drink like the weirdest thing they have on the menu that's completely out there. Because obviously, if you want to go to try a new brewery, you want to try something that you can't really get anywhere else. Like you don't want to just drink sometimes like a lager or pilsner or whatever, right? Because you can get that anywhere. And we've gotten like some good reception from it, because before we've only made it spicy, right? We haven't done the sour part, so it's nice. It's like a little bit of sour, a little bit tart. You get that raspberry in there, but then the heat isn't too spicy, but it just like sticks on the tap, like the back of your throat a little bit, just to let it know that it's there. So that's a new one that we've done. And then like coming up, we got our Frontline Heroes, which is our oatmeal coffee stout. That one's coming back. And then we have our Doppelbock, which is just won silver at the Canadian Brewing Awards last month. month and a half ago.
Very nice.
For Doppelbock.
Yep.
Which I didn't even know Doppelbocks were popular enough to have a style, but I guess learn a new thing every single day.
What? How did you not know Doppelbocks were a style?
Well,
Come on.
I knew they were a style. I just didn't know they were popular enough, and there was enough to actually make its own category. It's its own category.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, they're fantastic. I love pretty much everything that has the word Bach in it. My Bach, Doppelbock, Eisenbach.
Have you tried our Doppelbock?
I have not. Okay, I will have to try that one.
You will, because it just won silver at the Canadian Brewing Awards. So that's coming back. And then our Mad Capriole Vanilla Porter is coming back. And then the Double Chocolate Milk Stout, as I said. So we're trying to do a little more dark beers, because those are obviously popular around this time. And then
it's the season for dark beers for most people, yes.
And then a random one that's coming back that's being brewed, I think soon. So I think it'll be around mid to late November. Will be our May West Mango Milkshake IPA. That one's coming back, which is a weird time. Is a weird time to release it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you're not an IPA guy, and oh man, it is good.
Yeah. As most people know, my thoughts on IPA are if it's not an English style IPA, you can pretty much keep it. But May West Mango IPA is a fantastic beer.
For anyone that hasn't tried it, it's mango puree. We use vanilla in there as well. So it's literally just like mango juice in a glass. Like if you don't even like IPAs, it's something you would like. I'm not a big IPA person personally. It's phenomenal. It just goes down so easy, and 6.5%. So it has a little bit of nice booziness to it, but you don't taste the booziness. But it'll get you a little buzz on a Saturday night. But oh man, that's coming back. So many people ask for that. We have so many people coming in even now saying, is the Mango May West coming back? Because we haven't had it since the beginning of summer, like June or July. We ran out of it, I think, in like July, and we haven't done it since, just because like fruit was hard to get for a while with like all the fires in like BC and California. Like a lot of the fruit is from there, like especially with raspberries. Like a lot of the raspberries are in BC and California. So when there's all those fires going on, majority of their like supply for those fruit got burned. So like it was hard for us, and I bet you other breweries to find raspberry puree, mango puree, all that different stuff, right? So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I actually thought that was one of your guys' always on tap beers. I didn't realize it was a rotational.
It's seasonal. It's once every year we normally do it. So we normally do it once every summer. Same with the Bodacious Orange. We just see it as more of a summer beer, but we feel like it's so popular we need to bring it back. So that's coming back too, which I'm really excited about. But
So quick. We are just over the half-hour mark, and typically I like to keep the episodes about that long. And while we're talking about what are the core beers there at Stonehooker for people who might not know?
So the core beers that we always have around whenever time you come would be our Broadreach, which is our New England IPA, and then we have our Lakeshore Lager, which is just your typical clean, crisp, easy drinking lager. And then we have our Golly Wobbler, which is a session IPA, so it has the same notes and flavor profile as our Broadreach, so like citrus, pineapple, a little bit of hazy, but it's more obviously drinkable. Lighter percentage, 3.9%. And then our Chill Pills, which is a Czech style Pilsner. So that one's pretty nice as well. Get some floral notes in there. Pretty easy to drink as well. So those are our main four. So we've got a lager, like basically 2 IPAs, but then we always try to bring stuff back. Like there's no beer that like goes away and comes back. If we do a beer, we always like to try to do it twice and see how it does. But I feel like we should probably try to make Lemondrop like a mainstay now, like the beer we just had. Like if we should always have a sour. A brewery should always have a sour. And I feel like that's just a sour it's not easy to make, but it sells well and people love it. So that's just something we should always have along, right? So
I think this would do well as a core beer for your guys' brewery. I mean, it's
100%.
It's very approachable. Even if you're not a beer person, it, like I said, it tastes more like lemonade. It doesn't taste like beer.
No.
So it's not a beery flavored beer. It's not like a Pilsner or anything like that. It's not like a Bach or anything where it tastes like beer. No. This tastes, for people who don't know, Lemondrop Float from Stonehooker tastes like lemonade. I mean, it's one of those weird anomaly type beers that doesn't taste like a beer.
Yeah, but a lemonade that's not too tart, because I wouldn't call it overly sour.
Yeah, no, it is not. No,
in my opinion.
Yeah, this is very, very light on the acidity. Very, very nice level of tartness. Very nice balance with the sweet from the lactose. Like I said, it's like a glass of lemonade, like your grandma used to make. You throw some lemon slices in there. There's a teaspoon of sugar with it. Stir it all together, and that's what you got.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. No, glad you liked it. It's really, really good.
Yeah, no, this is a great beer. To be honest, I haven't had any beers from you guys that are bad.
Mm-hmm.
There've been a couple, which is the style, which I don't care for, but you know that's going to happen everywhere. But yeah, I have not had a beer that I have said, oh God, this needs to be poured down the drain. This is horrible from Stonehooker. I mean, nothing I've had from you guys has been bad. Everything has been good. Your ESB is nice. It's not my favorite ESB, but I would definitely not refuse it if somebody handed it to me. I'd be like, yep, ESB. Thank you very much.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I haven't made anything secret. My favorite ESB locally is Nickelbrook Equilibrium. That's my favorite. Followed by Clifford. Dark Streets of London is a great ESB. Oh, yeah. So I mean, those are my two favorites. But yours would be in my top 5.
That's good. That's good for sure. Awesome.
But yeah, so for anybody who wants this, you'll have to truck your butt on into the brewery whenever it's available, because it is a seasonal beer. Apparently, it's not a core beer, so might want to check the website. You guys pretty much have everything that's on tap on the website,
yeah,
right? I assume
we update our website pretty frequently of what we'll have available, what's available to buy, and stuff like that, right? So this will be released in, you said, January. So there's a very good chance this won't be around, but we might be doing it again soon. So it's best if you want to follow us or find stuff out. Follow us on Instagram. So we're on Instagram and Twitter, but we're more active on Instagram. Post daily stories and stuff. What's going on with like the kitchen, like with our food and all the stuff that we do. So we're more active.
That's because all the kids hang out on the Instagram.
Yeah. So Stonehooker Beer is our Instagram handle, or you can just follow us on or just go on our website, stonehooker.ca. Yeah, and find everything there.
Or you can follow Nick on Twitter. He's Nick the Sour Guy.
At Nick the Sour Guy, all one word. Follow me there as well. I talk about Stonehooker Beer all the time.
That's right. And so this is the part of the show where I say, hey, if you enjoyed this video, please click like. If you really like my show, please subscribe. Click the little bell if you want to be notified when new episodes come out. If you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comments below. If you have any questions for Nick, you can leave them in the comments below, and I will make sure that he sees them. And I'm sure he'll answer them. He's pretty good about answering stuff on social media. He's a pretty conscientious kid.
I know what I do. I know my way around the social media, the interwebs.
He knows his way around the inner tubes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, until next time, I'm Rob from the internet. Cheers.
Cheers.